thanks for the memories, even though they weren't so great. In this new episode of It's a Review Series, Charlie Brown, we're going to be talking about a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. Now, this is the first one since a Charlie Brown Christmas, or I guess the Charlie Brown All-Stars, whatever. It's the first one since the beginning of the series that has used that naming convention as opposed to the It's X Charlie Brown. So it's kind of a return to form, and what better way to return to form than to do a classic holiday special, which we haven't covered since The Great Pumpkin, which was the second holiday special and the third special overall. So finally we're back in familiar territory with this. This is probably one that pretty much everybody has seen, so it's safe for me to say that it's one of the top tier ones as far as recognizability goes. But where's the rank in Wyatt's heart? Well, it's pretty good. I don't think it's as good as, like, It's a Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. There's certainly far more filler in this than, like, pretty much any other one. I was noticing that very much so, that there is a very thin plot to this entire special, and those 25 minutes, you feel every single one of them. But hey, what is Peanuts without being just kinda dull sometimes? That's part of the meditative nature of the whole thing, is that sometimes you're just really bored. And you're fine with it, because it's, I don't know, yeah, there's just something zen about how boring Peanuts is sometimes. So I don't mean to criticize it too harshly. Anyway, why don't we get into talking about the special? First of all, starts with a classic football gag, which again, never not funny, never not perfect. It is the ultimate summation of Peanuts. It's the best gag. Sorry, it is. It's just the best one. Actually, I'm not sorry. I take that back. I mean it. So Charlie Brown quickly gets a booty call from Patty, from Peppermint Patty, in order to, because she's bored on Thanksgiving. She has no family or whatever, and she wants to hang out with Charlie Brown, and then she eventually just starts inviting other people. Charlie already has plans to go to Thanksgiving with his grandma, so what are they gonna do? So then they just plan to have two Thanksgivings, one run by him and then one later at his grandma's. The problem is Charlie Brown is like 8, and he's Charlie Brown especially, so he can't cook, he can't prepare an entire turkey. I've been there preparing food for Thanksgiving, and it takes a while. It takes like a whole fucking day of preparation to get all that stuff ready. And they only have one montage, so you have a whole montage of them putting together food, and it's a lot of toast and like just random crap for around the house, which is hilarious. Before that, actually, there's like a 5-minute fucking scene of Snoopy in Woodstock just like screwing around with like a jazz song playing, which is cool. Don't get me wrong, love me that jazz, but it is an extremely long scene, and it's very clear that they're like, I don't know, we got like 10 minutes of content and we need to fucking stretch this out. And there's a lot of different subtle ways that Peanuts can stretch things out. You can have all the scenes of Snoopy and Woodstock that act as padding, which is, again, fine. I prefer padding with, like, physical comedy to, like, nothing happening, Like, I don't know, the first Charlie Brown movie had several montages of literally nothing happening except for a slideshow. The other best way that they pad, and this might not be intentional, but it does stretch things out, is that every single voice actor speaks as slowly as possible. So one thing that I might recommend for you on repeated viewings, especially if you're someone like me who is watching all of these, watching it at 1.25 speed on, say, Daily Motion, where most of them are, actually drastically improves the pace of everything and makes things a lot snappier and funnier. But if you want to keep it classic and pure, which I understand, Martin Scorsese, then, just deal with the more slow-paced dialogue. It's not as snappy as it is in the comics, but you know, it gets the job done. Franklin makes another appearance. You know, fan favorite Franklin is here. Yeah, they really never give him like anything to do at any point, sadly. So he really, unfortunately, just falls into the place of like, well, we did it. We put a black character in here. Oh, is he gonna do anything? Is he gonna be fun and like be one of the guys? Nah, he's gonna be the tag along third wheel guy for Peppermint Patty and Marcy, and that's about it. He's gonna get like one single line of dialogue. It is the 70s, but that doesn't make it right. Sadly, I think that the biggest flaw of this is that, I don't know, I think that Patty's role should be Lucy, because Peppermint Patty doesn't seem like somebody who would get like overly upset at the Thanksgiving feast being wrong. Like, it almost feels like they did write it for Lucy, but then they replaced it with Peppermint Patty because she's like the more popular character in this time period in the 70s. You know, she's newer, more popular. Her and Marcy, you know, they were like, she was introduced like a couple specials ago. So, you know, they might want to give more time to them. But Lucy is like the one who would be like, Charlie Brown, you fucking failure. We're eating toast for Thanksgiving. And one thing I noticed right away was in the montage when they're toasting the toast, but because, you know, all toasters toast. Some of the toasters they're using is really weird. They're like triangle things where they put the toast into two of the sides and then close it. I've never seen those ever. It must be some weird 70s thing, but literally never ever seen those. Then again, I've never seen aluminum Christmas trees, and that was a thing before, so, you know. But yeah, like, it kind of diminishes the character of Peppermint Patty when she's put into this like uncharacteristic role, because usually she's charmingly unobservant, and she assumes a lot of things. Like, she doesn't understand that Snoopy is a dog. She doesn't understand that Charlie Brown is not romantically available at all. She doesn't understand that she shouldn't be interested in Charlie Brown, because come on, seek higher positions than Charlie Brown on the totem pole, Peppermint Patty, please. So it's just weird that like she's the first one to call out this bullshit when, like, I don't know, it could have been Linus too. He's a fucking narc. He would have. The apology from Peppermint Patty to Charlie Brown is also like comedically half-assed to the point where I can't even be mad at it, because it is pretty funny that she just offsets all responsibility onto Marcy in order to do it instead of doing it for herself. That is funny, but it doesn't actually wrap up any of the story. And then the special just fizzles out where they're like, oh no, we're gonna be late to the grandma's Thanksgiving. What are we gonna do? And Charlie just calls them and then says, well, hey, can my friends come along? And then they go along, and then there's like a long scene of them getting into the absurdly huge car that the Brown family has for some reason, even though they have just like a mother and father and two children. And then like it just ends there where they're just singing in the car together, and then we cut to like 5 minutes of Snoopy in Woodstock eating a turkey, because of course they had a real turkey this whole time. They were just giving these fucking idiots the scraps, you know. Snoopy's always like 3 steps ahead of everybody because he's an evil chaos god, you know, that wants to sow mischief and discord amongst the rabble. Man, now I'm thinking about Thanksgiving. I'm just hungry. I love Thanksgiving for the food mostly. I don't care for the genocide aspect of it, but I do enjoy the food. I think anybody would agree with that, you know. People will make fun of Americans for being very into food, but I think everybody in the whole world can bond over food. And turkey, that's very good food, especially a well-done turkey. Thanksgiving just has a ton of good food, and I'm just eating a lot of food for like a whole week during Thanksgiving, and it's just like I'm happier then than I am for like Christmas, you know, and getting like socks and Blu-rays from like Marshalls or whatever that my mom finds. Whatever. I guess I should say what I'm thankful for. I know it's not actually Thanksgiving at the time. It's not even Halloween at the time that I'm uploading this. Whatever. But, you know, I'm thankful for, as dog shit as this year has been, I have met a lot of cool people. I've talked with a lot of people that I admired. And I've done a lot of really cool things, including like having a podcast become part of the same podcast network as like Retronauts. That's cool. You know, I've talked with show creators that I really enjoy. That's cool. They're watching this right now. Hi, Toby. Tell Maddie I said hi, and also that Infinity Train fucking rules. But more than any of that, and this is going to be serious and lame and sentimental, but definitely very serious. As small of a channel as I am, the fact that anybody at all messages me or like comments on these videos and tells me that what I'm doing is good, or that they felt heard or they felt seen through my videos, that I'm saying opinions that they have always thought but couldn't put to words, and that they love everything that I do, or some of the things that I do. They like me putting a spotlight on these older cartoons or these more obscure ones in the modern age that get lost in the shuffle. People that are excited about that, even if it's a very small number at the moment, I hope that this stuff reaches all of the people that it needs to. That's really what I want. I don't even want to be huge. I just want to talk to people about cartoons, and I want to, you know, I want them to pick their own brains and like come up with their own opinions, and then I want them to make their own YouTube videos, and then they'll get to talk about OKKO. They'll get to talk about Craig of the Creek. They'll make a fucking ill-conceived 45-part YouTube series where you're dissecting every single Charlie Brown TV special. You know, who knows? Just, I'm very thankful for the opportunity to do that and affect the world in that way, regardless of how small my impact is. The fact that it exists at all, that is what I'm really thankful for. So thank you for watching this. And, you know, this special, you can fucking find it anywhere. Just go on Dailymotion or whatever. You can find it. It's readily available on DVD and Blu-ray and everything. It's one of the ones that are not difficult to find. You'll enjoy it. It's got some gorgeous animation. It's got a lot of really funny bits. It's got a lot of good funny lines. It's got the, you know, it starts with the football gag. Really can't go wrong there. I got my problems with it, but, you know, at the end of the day, it's still a pretty good special. You really can't go wrong with any of these ones from the 70s. So what's the next one gonna be? It's a mystery. I mean, that's the name of it. Not that it's... The next one isn't mysterious. It literally is called It's a Mystery, Charlie Brown. That's the joke. Okay, anyway, goodbye. See you later. Thank you. Mwah.